This episode is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got it all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, fill your card up with all their amazing comics. Use the discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. Save you 10% at checkout. Not only on their website, but also at their eBay account. And the link to eBay can be found on their homepage at CarterComics.com. Again, CarterComics.com is your one-stop shop for all comic needs.
It's time! It's time! It's JFW time!
All right, it's time.
Hey, mouth breathers, it's time to step into the ring with the greatest top fan in JFW podcast history. Just freaking wrestling, the JFW podcast, led, thanks to Steve Arndt, by the top fan himself, Pacman, and the LIM champion. I gotta remind you guys that I still am the LIM champion, and I'm going to talk as long as I can because, Steve last week said I was in control of JFW. Travis isn't here. I'm taking over for him. Also, I think, Turtle. Oh my God, Turtle. I am so sorry. I did not mean to rudely cut you off, even though I totally meant to. You should tell people who you are.
And I am the faction slayer, Nubby, the amazing turtle. Really, Pac-Man? We're just gonna do this?
I mean, hey, don't look at me. Steve said that I'm in charge of the JFW podcast last week on the Power Hour. I can't question Steve. He's part of the VHS.
It seems like it's a contagious thing that people believe something went down when it really didn't. Because I'm pretty sure Steve said for me and Travis to keep you in line, which, speaking of Travis, conspicuous by his absence, he is not here. Rumor has it that he is still cleaning off his car as the fourth mother box happened to be in town together. And they went on a shitting spree, and they happened to shit on Travis's car. Now, these are just rumors from the rumor and innuendo. I cannot confirm nor deny this shitting on a car took place, but I have not heard from Travis since about 4 o'clock when he was expecting to be on tonight, and he might be washing his car.
I mean, leave it to fourth mother box to just leave him with a Chicago sunroof. I'm just saying. And if you need to look that up, just watch Better Call Saul. You'll know what I'm talking about. That's probably what they did. Because here's the thing. It's interesting because Tom was so hell-bent on meeting up with me, so hell-bent that he forgot to send me his hotel he was staying at so I could make him eat his teeth for dinner.
I mean, you knew the area he was in. You could have just went down there and asked around, show
let me
picture.
just knock on the door. Have you seen this giant ginger? And then I get sent to a room where Conan O'Brien's in, and I don't want to punch Conan O'Brien. Top fans don't have anything against Conan O'Brien. And then I could just knock on every single hotel door until a ginger answers. That's going to be awkward. I can only do with what I can only do with the information that I have in front of me, and Tom gave me no information. And that's a problem. But you know what the workhorses gave me?
What did they give you?
They gave me another month's supply of blueberry muffins.
And why would they give you blueberry muffins?
Oh, I don't know. I was just, plugging their merch which you can buy on Brainbuster Tees and ProWrestlingTees.com. So I have my muffin supply. Top fans are very happy with that.
You know, speaking of the workhorses, in a little while, I got to tell you something about the workhorses.
What did they not give you muffins? You got to plug the merch. That's all you got to do.
I'm gonna stir the pot a little bit. Something was whispered in my ear by a member of the workhorses, but when we get to that, I will spill the beans, if you will.
It doesn't impact this muffin, right? Because it's really delicious.
I don't know. We shall see.
I'm still gonna eat the muffin, but I just figured I'd ask if it was muffin.
Oh, don't worry. It has nothing to do with the muffins.
Oh, thank God. This is a good muffin.
Oh man, we got a loaded show today. I really do wish Travis was here because I would love to hear what he has to say about what happened at Frontline this past weekend.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially with what Steve had said on Power Hour, which God. I did a better job of defending you guys, I think.
You did, huh?
I think I did. I didn't say, well, it's just Travis being Travis, or Travis doing Travis things.
Oh, I think Travis. I think, well, Travis Steve, if you will. I think Steve is finally just catching on.
I think so.
He's just starting to realize, Travis will do Travis things. And come on, Travis Steve is a great character.
It's a fantastic character. I mean, let's look at it this way. For our video listener, it would be our video listeners. When they see the Travis Steve impression, then watch Steve cut a promo. The mannerisms and everything, it's like uncanny. And imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, Nubby.
Yeah.
It's true. So, I mean, I don't know why Steve... I mean, I think Steve kind of came around to it after I said my piece on the matter, but, it was an interesting conversation to start that episode, followed by the other interesting conversations about math and boobies, which I really enjoyed.
I really love math at this point. Geometry, not so much. Algebra was a waste of time, but math in general. I definitely wanted to get that book though, because there's some stuff and things that maybe I would like to learn.
I think it would help me in my everyday life. There's always something in the Go to Menendez's book for everybody.
Yeah. So speaking of Frontline, I think we can jump right in.
Let's do that. I will mute my mic because this stubborn train, which is a mouth breather, is just gonna ruin my ability to say words. So you take it away, Nubby.
Take it away. Oh, wrong song. Not even the song. What? That's not even the right words. This is why I don't sing. So, Frontline this past weekend took place, and some stuff went down. Corey McHenry defeated Aaron Arsenal. Disco Ray won the Fatal 4-Way over Adonis, EJ Swanson, and Joseph Von Jaeger. Shaq Jordan and Hornswoggle defeated the Windy City Devils. I'm sure that match was fantastic. Regis Atlas defeated Michael Wayne. Kid Lat and the Big Guy defeated Brock Hall and ACR. Milwaukee Vice defeated Lennox Leon and Jordy Lee. And then Ben McCoy defeated Ben Evanson to regain the Frontline title. And after the match, Ben McCoy taunted Steve a little bit, I guess. He was still beating down Evanson a little bit. grabbed the chair, hit him with it. We all saw the video. And then after Ben was about to leave, Ben McCoy was just about to leave. And then what happens? Steve gets in his face. And then for his troubles, Steve got whacked up with the chair himself. What are your thoughts on that, Pacman?
I mean, I did see the video. First things first, I am going to say Steve thought I was crazy for saying that Ben was going to win that match, but I proved to be correct.
You were correct. Ben won the match.
I was right. And they said I was a man. But no, I'm a top man.
You are a man.
I am. But that's, as Steve would say, neither here nor there. As far as that goes, I know these issues with Steve and Ben McCoy have been brewing for some time. Ben has crashed the Power Hour to make his opinions on Steve known. It's been very, very intense. No pun intended. I said Ben intense. But I don't see, this is not ending anytime soon. You see a guy like Steve who is he's very proud man. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. But I don't see Steve backing away after the conclusion of that show.
Steve has been through battles. We've all seen it. I've witnessed a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I've seen every battle he's been in. Even with me a little bit. I never got a match with him completely, like one-on-one. I don't count that triple threat match that we had where, slaps happened and ears were broken. Thanks to a Rion. But nonetheless, Steve, yes, has been in many battles. I don't know about this one with Ben. I think Steve might be biting off more than he can chew. Might be what's that phrase about cashing checks?
Your ass can't catch. No, I don't know it. It was in Top Gun. I know. Just
nonetheless,
to our listeners, watch Top Gun and you'll know what we're talking about.
I just think Steve, at this point, shouldn't be getting himself involved. You're passionate, I get it, but this is Ben McCoy. Let someone else handle it. It's crazy.
But I'm going to counter that, though, because, you and I were both there when Steve took on the Idols and regained control of Rocket Pro.
You beat the Idols. It's nothing.
Still, it's not nothing. I mean, he helped the Shelleys get the company back.
Yeah.
He is a former alternative. Wasn't he alternative champion?
Yeah.
Former trios champion.
Yeah, but did he do all the work?
I mean, he did enough because he still won those.
He put himself in the situation to lose the trios titles.
I mean, I still question, why he did what he did because, and especially with Gustavo now, like the way that he's turned out with that new stable that he joined in IPW after that. But at the same time, I think the issues with Steve getting involved in the things, it sort of balances out with some of the good stuff that has come from that. So, do I think that Steve and Ben McCoy are going to come to blows eventually? I think it's very possible. Knowing Steve, he's not going to back down.
Mm-mm.
I mean, didn't he just change his theme from Do You Want to Taste It to Won't Back Down?
Mm. Yeah, I guess we can. I don't know. I just don't see this going his way this time. I don't see him surviving Ben McCoy. But
Yeah.
at least Steve can say that he had help at Frontline, because it didn't take long for the locker room to spill out. So he can't say no one had his back this time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just gonna be very interesting to see where this all goes. But it's not ending anytime soon.
No, it definitely isn't.
But yeah, so that is that all from Frontline?
That's all from Frontline.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, by the way, Nubby, before we get into MCW, you have been the Battle Royal champion for 1,858 days.
As I should be.
Look at you. Even with our issues right now, I still have to acknowledge the tribal turtle.
It's still crazy that I am the reigning champion, but Metalhead was the one that stole the belt from me. And why didn't I grab it back when I was managing him?
Yeah.
I'm not so smart.
I mean, you could, if you really thought about it, you could have, as co-GM, when you were co-GM of Rocket Pro, could have put him in a match, managed him, and then just take the belt from Timmy Too Sweet and then just run off.
Yeah.
Could have done that. But
maybe I should have brought Metalhead in to take on the Undeniable. Why didn't I think of that?
Top fans think of things Nubby doesn't think about.
Well, wait, he might have been booked there a lot of times.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right. So speaking of going with that, we're going with MCW results from this past Saturday. After I make sure that this train has passed, and it has. It has not. Anyway, MCW. APX defeated NWA Exodus star Sebastian with the help of Chris Mercer, who smashed a crystal ball over his head. Conan Lycan then came out and turned the match with AMB versus Rafael Quintero into a triple threat. Quintero pinned AMB to capture the United States title. Then we got a dream match as Koa Laxamana and Gunnar Brave faced off one-on-one, with Koa coming out on top. And then, in your main event, we had EC3, NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, getting the victory in his title defense over Nasty Nick Nolan. The best was seen in the ring, leading to a no-contest ref reversals, and both champions left with their own belts, and that was MCW.
So it just seems like EC3 can't capture another title. Granted, he walks away with his own, but he can never capture someone else's.
It is interesting, and there's always some shenanigans afoot when it comes to that.
It's like they want to keep him the champion, but they don't want him to walk out with their title.
It's interesting, to say the least.
It is.
He is. What else do we have in the way of reviews?
Well, we have ARW.
ARW.
Dazed and Confused.
Whoa.
I was dazed and confused for sure.
Were you there for that show?
I was there. I actually showed up and showed out. Or just showed up. Whatever.
You were there.
And had some cupcakes.
Oh, you celebrated after?
I celebrated after with everybody.
So when Rion came in for his surprise, let me just I don't know if it was a surprise necessarily, but let's just say it was. Did he come into the room? Everybody said surprise. They come out of the then walked out of the room. Then came back in the room. Everybody said surprise again, and then he walked out of the room. And then on the third time he comes back, everybody screamed surprise, and then he felt it. Is that what happened?
I know where you're going with this, and I don't think it happened that way. As I was not in there in the bar area right away. And by the time I got in there, Rianne was already in there.
Got it.
And someone handed me a piece of cake.
What a wonderful person to do that.
Well, it's funny who the person was. I don't know if I should bring it up.
Is this an off-air thing?
It could be, but I think it's funny.
Oh, do tell me.
The girlfriend or not the girlfriend, don't know anymore, of Santino.
Oh, I see.
You know where I'm going with that?
Yep, I know where you're going with that.
Well, either way, she handed me a piece of cake.
Well, that was nice of her.
And then I had a cupcake or 2 or 20. Oh no, I had pizza too.
I have to ask. I had asked, do you have any pizza?
Thanks to BJ Porter, who gave me the rest of his pizza.
What a guy.
So I had cake before pizza. It's not how you're supposed to do it, but it's a wrestling show.
Yeah, you can do what you want at a wrestling show, except crossing the guardrail, putting your hands on the wrestlers. I think what else? Other things.
Yeah. There was beer there too.
I like beer.
We know you do.
Yeah, that's why I'm the LIM beer drinking champion. And, it's not, your record, but 254 days as the LIM beer drinking champion. I think I have the longest title reign in the history of LIM with the beer drinking championship. I am the Bruno Sammartino of old style.
So you're going to walk into Rocket Pro Wrestling's Fall Brawl with that title?
You're damn right I'm planning to. I mean, let's look at it this way. There's nobody that has stepped up to challenge me for the LIM beer drinking championship. Because they've seen what I've been able to do in my 5 title defenses. They see that I will do whatever I need to do to hold on to this. They see that they can't bring themselves to outsmart me. Then why even try? And that's the problem. You know how I keep saying about complacency and, the lack of that spark and the lack of that fire that I've noticed? That's why I'm still the champion. Everybody else is passionate. Everybody else is loud. Everybody else is rowdy. That's why we're all nominated for the Nova Awards for Rowdy's fan group. So I'm not going to take anything away from anybody on that regard. But nobody, and I mean nobody, can take this away from me. I will hold this title until the day that I die. And even when I die, I'll still defend this title and I'll drink all of them. I am the champion for eternity. And in the time that I'm still alive to experience my LIM beer drinking title reigns, people need to learn to respect the top fan and respect the champion. Right, Nubby? Right?
Sure. Whatever you say.
That doesn't sound, because it sounds like you're still hesitating because you seem to think that Tony Gabagool is the true leader of LIM, and I keep hearing this too. I hear it from Fourth Mother Box. I hear it from you guys. I hear it from the guy at my corner store telling me that Gabagool should help him out with some stuff with his leadership ability. And I'm like, I have leadership ability. Why can't I help you out? Why can't I? And I would. But that moment that was brought to my attention, I stopped going to that mouth breather store altogether. I can't support anybody who seems to have this delusion, like Tony Gabagool has this delusion, that he is the true leader of the LIM, which is not true, because I am. I'm not going anywhere. And like I said, top fan, that could all go away. It could all go away. I would like for being the top fan to go away. I really would. But the thing is, nobody has seen what I've been talking about. People keep denying that what the reality that I'm presenting them is a delusion. When they're a delusion to think that everything is okay the way it is. Even Gabagool. Gabagool, yeah, he has stepped up, and I'm not going to take anything away from that. But he can't see the forest through the trees. He's got these blinders on. He's only focused on this, but he can't even challenge for this. He had a belt, then someone stepped on it, and he lost that belt. I still have my belt. I may have put it in a lot of different places. I may have, put it on the ground. I may have handed it to wrestlers, but it never leaves my sight. I still know where it is. Gabagool doesn't know his head from his ass. I know my head from my ass. And, I'm not going to, keep hijacking the show or anything like that, but I just want to make perfectly clear before we start talking about the rest of ARW that until everybody starts respecting the top fan and starts showing me the respect that I'm owed, especially after I defended the fans' honor, and where was the appreciation for that?
They gave you the belt because of that. Did you forget?
And that was the only thing. And then after that, they shit on me, and they shit on every single decision that I've made. They have.
Shit on you for things you've been doing.
But I'm not talking about, things that I've been doing since I've been in this, whole attitude shift. This new way of thinking that I've had. This was even before then. If you go back to some of our other podcasts, like the one where I wanted to make a point by jumping off so that Dizzle J and Gabagool could figure out what exactly they were doing that wasn't serving the interests of the LIM. Dizzle J, for his credit, figured it out. Gabagool, when I asked him, it's documented. You go back to that January vlog. He was focused on him. He was focused on Gabagool. When am I going to get my shot? When am I going to get my moment? That was his response after I presented that. Gabagool is only focused on Gabagool. Believe it or not, the top fan is focused on the entire LIM. You can't be a leader and only focus on yourself and your own needs. You have to focus on the needs of the group. I may have done so in an unorthodox way, but everything I've done this whole summer has been to try to bring awareness, to make my point about where we need to take this group. And I still don't feel like I'm being heard, and it's frustrating as fuck. Until people start listening to me, I will continue to do whatever it takes to make sure that this stays on my shoulder, and that when all is said and done, people will start to recognize me again as the sole leader of LIM, because I am the sole leader of LIM. That's not going to change.
Good to know.
So ARW happened.
ARW did happen, and it started off with a celebration.
I like celebrations.
An Indiana State Championship celebration as Donovan, that guy Donovan Marcellus, comes out to celebrate his title victory and being the champion. Belittled the crowd as usual, but the crowd was not letting him talk. They were louder than him. Every time he tried to talk, it was like watching Freiberg cut a promo. The fans didn't want to hear it. They talked over him. He kind of said something to me, but he didn't get close enough to say it. He said it while he was in the ring, and I'm sitting in the crowd. By the way, I'm over just sitting in the crowd. What are you, Donovan?
That is true. I was there with you in November, so I can attest that at Rocket Pro Wrestling, you being in the crowd, you still got some chance, and you got pops. Nubby gets pops.
I got pops, even though I got a water right now, but I got pops.
I also have water. This is not pop. This is water.
So in the meantime, he calls out Joshua Moon because Moon wants his rematch since he was the original one that won the belt from Muggsy.
Mm-hmm.
He pinned the other guy, I think. He pinned Wade. But Muggsy deserves his title shot too. Speaking of Muggsy, I started a Muggsy chant at ARW.
Even after he punched me?
Yes, because that was funny.
That was not funny to me.
What's funny to me doesn't have to be funny to you.
You're sick. I'm just saying, you're sick, man.
Sometimes it is what it is. But nonetheless, Josh Moon did not come out. But Donovan knew that. He knew he was not going to come out because at the time he was not there. He was not in the building. So he also said that he will not defend the title against Brendan Balling. He's going to go home and be the champion. But Joey Boom Boom, who was ring announcing for the night, is the owner, and he told Donovan that if he does not defend the title against Brendan Balling, he will be stripped of it. So Donovan had no choice but to wrestle Brendan Balling in the show. And then everybody went away, and the first match began. It was Kazile getting the win over who? Oh, Isaac Slate. Who? Apparently they don't know who he is. But
I heard he plays first base.
I thought he played second.
No, that's what?
What's on third?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, anyway.
Yeah, he's on third.
I think they ought to put a little bit of respect on Isaac Slate. Come on. Calling him who is kind of like, meh.
He's a good first baseman. He was an all-star.
He has a name. His name is Isaac Slate. They keep saying who. Clearly,
it's really like Abbott and Costello. Clearly, they're all classy out in Lake Station.
Yeah, but nonetheless, Kazile got the win. Then we had the tag team title match, which featured the Bro Bros.
Bro!
Versus the Mash Brothers.
Mash!
It was Bros versus Bros.
Bros before Bros.
Yeah. The Mash Brothers did retain, as the Mash Brothers shared the moonshine with Bro Bros. You know, how nice of them, you know?
Yeah.
But apparently the Bros did not like the moonshine as I hear it burned them. And
Yeah, I could see that with moonshine.
it was spicy so much that the bros spit it out and they accidentally got each other. And the Match Brothers took advantage of that and retained their tag team titles. Then we had a no disqualification match between Joey Dalton and Quinn Whittick. A lot of back and forth stuff. Joey Dalton brought out the chair. The only weapon that was used in this no disqualification match. And anything you can do with the chair, they did. Except put it on fire. But that was fine. We didn't need no fire. But eventually, a staple gun got used.
I thought that the chair was the only weapon.
As I said at the time.
Oh, okay.
Or whatever I said. I said that wasn't the only one.
We're going to go back and listen to that.
We are, because maybe I did fuck it up. Who knows?
You told Pacman it.
Maybe I did. I don't know. Let me know, Travis, if you finally get your car washed.
Good old Travis Steve.
Joey Dalton used the staple gun on Quinn, and I had $1 in my pocket, so I was yelling at Joey, staple this to him. He couldn't hear or see me. And then Quinn Whittick got the upper hand on Joey, grabbed the staple gun, grabbed it, ready to use it, but instead he hit him with it and got the win. Let me tell you, there were a couple staples in Quinn, but no one took my $1. No one took my $1. I was kind of upset.
I'll take your $1.
You would, but no.
Yeah. I'd apply it towards the beer fund.
You're gonna need a couple more dollars.
Oh, I got connections. I'm good.
Okay. Then we went to intermission. We like intermission.
I do.
I didn't get no beverage during intermission, though.
Did you get pizza, though?
I didn't get no pizza at that time.
What kind of an intermission did you take part in?
I took part in the intermission where I just chatted with people.
Yeah, that seems a fair thing to do in an intermission.
I chatted with the bros. Couple other people. I saw Charlie of the family.
Did you see Ched?
Ched was surprisingly not there.
Somebody
was feeding him information. Because how he was able to post his posts after all the matches was kind of weird to me.
Ched has an inside source?
He does. And I want to know who.
Look at Ched has become the Chicagoland Meltzer.
True.
Any match with Nick Diamond winning, not even getting 5 stars. But if it's in the Tokyo Dome, it'll get at least 1.
True. Well, speaking of Nick Diamond, after intermission, it was the Asylum taking on the program. Well, it was scheduled that way. As the Asylum came out, did their thing, Lunatic with the what, and
what,
looking for butterflies and all that stuff. He doesn't like butterflies, so he gets freaked out when you tell him there's butterflies.
I'm going to write that down. Butterflies, tell him. Got it. Okay.
And Braun being Braun, cutting up some trees. And then as we were waiting for the program to come out, 3 other individuals came out. It was Jay Cross, Punisher, or 747, and Ivan Manson.
Ooh.
Those big men came out with AFA shirts. Now, you might ask, what does AFA mean?
Hey, Nubby. Hey, Pacman of JFW. I have a question. What does AFA stand for?
I have an answer for you.
Okay, do tell.
I don't know the answer.
Unbelievable.
Ivan Manson even said on Facebook, I believe yesterday, that he will let everyone know.
Also, for America, I'm going to speculate. Arachnids for apples? Just a bunch of spiders that like apples, perhaps. It's very possible.
Very possible. But in the meantime, Ivan got on the mic and asked Braun if he would like to join them. Now, mind you, Braun and Ivan were members of the family. I believe Braun's still part of the family. I would think. Didn't see anything otherwise. Didn't get no memos. But Braun initially declined the offer, but said him and Lunatic will have their back anytime. And Ivan said, no problem, we got your back too. But as Ivan was about to leave, he got on the mic again and said, Braun, this is a one-time deal. You gotta even have to take it or leave it or whatever, something like that. But it was only to distract Braun and Lunatic because they got beat up by the FA. They got squashed in the corner a bunch of times. They were laid out, which allowed the program to come out. Nick Diamond, Eric Schultz, and Drip Drip, Uncle Drip Drip, Willie Richardson. They forced the referee to ring the bell, and the program got a cheap win. The easiest night they'll ever have in their lives. And then the AFA were still out there, and they told them to leave, and they didn't want that smoke, so they left. So it remains to be seen on what's going to happen next with the AFA. Braun and Lunatic needed help to the back. Their ribs, their backs were hurting. And as you saw in the video I posted in the chat,
yes,
Braun was on a scooter later on in the show, and Lunatic was walking around with a walker.
But not the Texas Ranger kind, right?
Right.
Just making sure. Because that would be pretty cool if he was walking around with Chuck Norris.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That'd be dope.
I like to meet Chuck Norris.
Beat him so much. You want to beat him so
What the hell just happened?
Well, don't get sick before you meet him.
Yeah, right. All right. Then we had the Indiana State Championship match. Donovan Marcellus took on Brandon Balling. Now I'll give it to Donovan. He is a great athlete. He knows his shit. And this match was fun to watch. I just think his attitude needs an adjustment.
No an AA, if you will. Maybe someone to tell him F you, as it were.
Well, we were all telling him to F you. So.
A little bit of that STFU.
Yeah, we did that too.
Give him a 5-knuckle shuffle. Well, maybe not, because that means something else outside of wrestling. Never mind. Yeah. Never mind.
During the finish, or leading up to the finish, Brandon Balling had Donovan in the Boston Crab. And just when he was about to tap out, Donovan bit Brandon Balling. He bit him in the leg. And then right after, there was a pin combination where they were getting one up on the other. And imagine referee Flat Top having to do that. Being the referee. Because he was the referee.
All of this is going on. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But Donovan got the win using the rope. And Flat Top did not see it. because he was counting the shoulders. So then after that, Donovan was celebrating. The lights went out. We thought, what? They didn't pay the bill? All of a sudden, a masked figure came into the ring, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's 2 masked figures I've had to deal with. Who is this guy?
It wasn't Captain Flamingo, was it?
Wasn't Captain Flamingo. He's not.
I love Captain Flamingo.
He's not he doesn't wear a black mask. His is pink. I thought I saw him during intermission, though, hanging with Mikey Peterson. But I don't know for sure.
Captain Flamingo.
But anyway, lights came back on and ended up being Josh Moon under that mask, and he beat the holy snot out of Donovan. And then he sat in the ring, CM Punk style, if you will, and challenged Donovan to next month. Whether it's set yet, I don't know. Nothing is official, so we shall see.
That we shall. I see what you did there, because Turtle. I get it.
We shall see.
That we
All
shall.
right. The next match was Wade Evans versus James Creed. Now, remember earlier, I had said something about the workhorses, and I need to stir the pot.
I'm concerned, but I do remember this.
Mikey Peterson whispered to me that his money was on James Creed. Mm-hmm.
I thought his money was used to buy me muffins for promoting their merch on Brainbuster Tees and ProWrestlingTees.com.
Well, Mikey Peterson said to me, in his own words, that he was betting on James Creed.
Very, very interesting.
And then when Creed came out, he didn't waste no time. He went right after Wade Evans. And he was beating the shit out of him. Wade had a little bit of his own offense, but mostly James Creed. And then Wade Evans looked at me and made fun of my baldness. And then 2 seconds later, James Creed got the win. So Wade was more focused on my bald head than he was with James Creed. And you know how we've been seeing James Creed's attitude change over this title situation?
Yeah.
It seems like he's taken some of his attitude in SCW and bringing it to ARW. Like, you're seeing him irritated, angry, focused on something. Now, mind you, he did make a comment towards me. Look, it was ARW. I was there to support him over Wade. How I feel about him at SCW is SCW. Don't focus on me at ARW, because you don't want that smoke either way. So you focus on you. I was actually supporting you. It's fine. We're okay for now. Now, granted, I am a bit of the adopted son now to the Creed family, because they need someone to be proud of. But that's neither here nor there. So Creed got on the mic after the fact and more or less challenged Willie Richardson. He wants to fight Willie Richardson because he's blaming him for all his misfortunes. So again, I guess this is Windy City guys still going after Creed, like Creed said, and he wants Willie. And then after that, Wade got on the mic and says he pretty much addressed his shortcomings lately, but don't sleep on the workhorses because they will be back on top again.
And buy their merch on Brainbuster Tees and ProWrestlingTees.com.
Yeah. And then we had the main event. Dave Allen defending his championship against the CMOS Dave. In the match, the ref got knocked out. Poor ref Christian. CMOS had Dave Allen in a camel clutch. And what we thought he would be submitting at some point, but the workhorses interfered. Only Mikey and Sir Flex-a-Lot. They came out and interfered. But they got beat up as they were about to use the belt on him. CMOS Dave grabbed the belt from them, knocked them both out, and then he took out Dave Allen with the belt. But the ref came to a little too early and saw it and had a call for disqualification. So Dave Allen wins via disqualification, still your ARW champion. However, Joey Boom Doom, that's a new name.
Boom Doom.
Tried it. You should try it.
Boom Doom.
Joey Boom Boom came out, and as CMOS Dave was about to powerbomb Christian, Boom Boom said, he just stops him and told him, I'll make a deal with you. You will get a rematch down the line. Because he understands what happened was bullshit, and he's going to give him a rematch. Interesting. He's willing to give him a rematch when shit went wrong. Travis. Did I say that?
Oh, are
Anyway,
you referring to the high voltage title situation, Nubby?
I cannot confirm nor deny my feelings.
Well, here's what I'll say. I'm gonna say this. Maybe this might stir the pot a little bit, but if I was GM over at high voltage, even with their issues, I'll give you another shot.
Appreciate it.
I would. When you respect the top fan, I would, but I would still, give that to you.
Well, I'll respect the top fan when he stops pulling shenanigans to keep his championship.
You want to talk about shenanigans? Let's talk about Tony Gabagool and the LIM intern Paulo meeting up this week. And what are they planning? That just seems so weird to me that they met at the Italian Fest and then decided to, publicize it that Paulo is siding with Tony Gabagool as the leader. So you want to talk about shenanigans? Those are some shenanigans right there.
No. We'll see.
I mean, gives me some thoughts in when it comes to that intern thing, but I'm going to sit on that another couple days or so.
I know who needs interns. JFW. Anyone interested?
We are accepting intern applications. No, we're not. Are we? Travis, please confirm if we're going to have interns.
He would like interns, I know that. But anyway, so that was ARW, Dazed and Confused. They return September 14th.
All right, awesome. And you said we don't have POW.
Don't have the POW results, so we'll just move on. They do have a show that we will talk about next week.
Will.
I know you won't be here, thank God.
What? Oh, yeah, that's right. I won't be here because I have to go do some stuff.
You're off next week.
I am off on assignment.
Per Travis T.
Yes. More information to come.
Yeah.
But also, we should mention we are now back on Mondays. There was some jerk that had some scheduling issues over the summer. And if that jerk were here, he'd say, I'm sorry, I had no control over it. That was just my work schedule. But now we are back on Mondays.
Except for Labor Day weekend. We'll be recording that Sunday.
We will be back. We are back on Mondays until Labor Day. And then after Labor Day, we'll be back on Mondays.
Oh, so where do we want to go from here? I believe that's all the results.
So we'll leave Chicago style for the main event, I think.
Yeah, why not?
And if you want, I could just handle Wrestle League.
Handle Wrestle League, would you?
I will. You know what? I'm gonna do it, not because you said I need to, but because I want to.
Well, it is technically it's your job.
Oh yeah,
your name is on the list.
That is true. But we have Blood Money this Friday, August 16th at Lincoln Hall, 2424 North Lincoln Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. Wrestle League, $25 general admission. Doors open at 7. Bell time is at 8. We have multiple matches on this show, including the Ho Bros, which is Bugs Moran and the Bro Bros versus Mike, Telly, and Trick. Motivation Mike, that is. Tully Bertorelli and Trick. The poster just says Trick. They'll be in action. As well as Mike Strong, who will be taking on Humek. And then we'll also have, for the Tag Team Championship, Pestilence will be taking on Thunder and Lightning. In addition to this, the Urban Honored Crown will be defended as Quinn Wittick, Enigma, Joseph Von Jaeger will all, in a fatal 4-way, face off in the match that will also include Ewok. And we'll have Razi versus Jesus Desafio versus Lennox Leone. All this happening at Wrestle League Blood Money at Lincoln Hall at 2424 North Lincoln Avenue in Chicago. This Friday, August 16th, general admission is $25. Doors open at 7. Bell time is at 8.
Wowza.
And you can buy your tickets, I believe, on Eventbrite. I'm going to confirm that, but I am 99% sure that you can purchase your tickets online. And while I'm doing this, I'm just going to make sure that this doesn't become dead air or anything of that sort. We got to get our tickets. How do we get our tickets? You got to go. You got to get them. You got to get them online. You got to find where they're at online.
They online?
They are online. It is on the Lincoln Hall Shuba's Tavern website, not Eventbrite. I was thinking the show at Homewood. But if you go to Lincoln Hall's website, you can buy your tickets. $25. Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah! Oh, Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah! All right. So next, I gotta figure out, because I just got this new microphone. I gotta figure out if it's got cool settings and stuff like that.
Probably not.
Let's see. Does this do anything? Does it sound louder?
No, it does nothing.
Does nothing. That's weird. That's crazy. I need a fancy mic.
God damn it. I'm trying to go back.
So
See, I'm playing with buttons here and I fucked it up as usual. Okay.
do you have Squared Circle Megastars?
Yes, I do.
All right, fantastic.
Back to normal.
Let's do it.
This is what happens when Travis doesn't show up. We tend to play around too much.
That we do.
It's the top fan's fault.
No, I said my piece about LIM. I got my shit in. I did my usual stuff. You did your Nubby stuff. You're doing your Nubby stuff.
I am who I am.
You bleed. Sometimes you bleed. Sometimes you don't. You are who you are.
It is what it is.
That it be. It do be like that sometimes.
It do.
It do. Squared Circle Megastars, Nubby.
I am working on it. I just happened to check that. Okay, that's done. Let's get on.
Keep on working on it. And while you're doing that, I'm going to just have this quick conversation with the camera. Hi, friends. I'm Lovely Intoxicated Men Beer Drinking Champion PX. If you want to be a top fan like me, there's a lot of different things you can do. Give me 1 second.
1 second. 2 second. 3 second. 4, 5, 6, 7.
Explain what this is.
What the hell is that?
This is a bar of soap. Now let me explain to the mouth breathers and potty sniffers what you can do with it. So you take this thing called a shower, and a lot of you probably are very unfamiliar with what a shower is, but basically it's to make sure you don't smell like complete ass when you go to a wrestling show, because let's be honest, a lot of you guys smell like straight up ass when you come to a wrestling show. So you lather this very nicely, very pristinely on a wash rag or whatever you use to clean yourself, and you scrub yourself to make sure that you don't smell like absolute dog shit. Let me show you something else. Oh man, Andy Kaufman's gonna be so proud of me for showing people how to be a top fan.
I can't control this guy.
It's called toothpaste. You know what you do with it? You squeeze it on a toothbrush, and I know a lot of you may not know what wizardry a toothbrush is, but it's something to make sure that your breath doesn't stink. You go and you're talking to all these wrestlers, and you got such bad halitosis. Like, I cannot fathom how you all have such bad breath. It's disgusting. You can get this shit really, really cheap at your local Walgreens or CVS or Walmart or literally any fucking store. You can do it. It's just, you could be a top fan by having much better hygiene than you do, you mouth breathers. That's my overall point. But until then, you're just going to need to learn to respect the LIM beer drinking champion and respect the top fan. I had a little more shit I had to get in.
Always gotta get your shit in.
Hell yeah. You know it, brother.
This guy's a twat. Well, anyways, let's move on.
Megastars.
Squared Circle Megastars presents Dead Heat. It is this Saturday, August the 17th. It is at the Berwyn Eagles Club, 6309 26th Street in Berwyn, Illinois. Tickets are available for $15 in advance on Eventbrite. Otherwise, they are $20 at the door. Kids 8 and under enter free. Wow.
Do that.
Kids get everything these days.
I want to be a kid again.
You are a kid.
I am a child at heart.
Anyway, so
just don't tell girls you're on dating apps with that you're an old soul trapped in a young boy's body. It doesn't sound as self-deprecating about your height as you think. It just sounds weird. Just don't do that. I'm not saying I did that, but just that's another thing that mouth breathers shouldn't do. Don't do that.
Okay, duly noted.
Good.
All right, so we have for the Shooting Star Championship, we have Sebastian Cage, who is the champion, takes on Lizard Man Nathan Nile. Then we have Oso Turco taking on Kazile. Next, we have for the Mega Championship, it is Blake Banks, who is the champion, taking on Rafael Quintero. We have in an 8-man tag team match, it is Prince Ahmed and question marks taking on the Cobra and question marks. So these partners of these combatants are a mystery.
He's a mystery.
So we shall see who they are. Then we have Lucius Ironside with Dante DVS taking on BJ Price. David Ali will have a Green Boy Challenge, whatever that means.
Green Boy Challenge?
Green Boy Challenge.
Maybe we'll plant some plants. Got a green thumb. Save the earth, all that fun stuff.
I just know that this poster says David Ali's Green Boy Challenge.
Very, very interesting.
Then, for the... If I would just stop hitting buttons that I shouldn't hit.
Yeah, stop hitting buttons.
For the Tag Team Championship, we have Grim Reality, who are the champions, taking on the program with Uncle Drip Drip.
It is Uncle Drip Drip.
It is. Then, I assume this would be the main event. It is JDX versus James Creed versus Johnny Santos versus Zilla Fatu.
Oh, shit. That's Umaga's son, right?
I think so.
Holy shit.
Rumor has it he could be headed to the big time.
Ooh.
To WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Could
From
he
Bloodline.
Could he be part of the Bloodline?
That's a possibility.
Could he be part of the Rock line?
Ooh. The Power Line. No, wait, that's a Goofy movie. I was going to say Power Line, but that's a Goofy movie.
I don't know why I said Rock line. It just sounded funny in my head. Well, anyway, that is Squared Circle Megastars Dead Heat this Saturday, August the 17th at the Berwyn Eagles Club, 6309 26th Street in Berwyn, Illinois. Tickets are available in advance for $15 on Eventbrite. Otherwise, they will be $20 at the door. Kids 8 and under, you are free.
Freedom!
All right.
Right. Now last but not least, we have the last show that we have to talk about, which is the final show that we're talking about on this show, which is Chicago style wrestling. I couldn't think of any other synonyms.
I'm pretty sure Travis said, "Shut the fuck up, Pacman."
I can hear him somewhere off in the distance as he's cleaning off the after effects of that Chicago sunroof by the fourth mother box. Again, a guy that I just want to say before we get into, because I gotta say this, Tom made this big whole thing about wanting to fight me and all of this, and why, if he was so hell-bent on being in our same general area, why did he not take the time, like he claimed he was going to do, to send little old me where his hotel room was so we could do this thing? Why doesn't he want to? He talks a big game. He talks about wanting to fight the top fan. But push comes to shove, I mean, I'm getting kind of mixed messages here, bud. I don't know what he wants. I don't think Tom knows what he wants. And that's the problem. Now he's back in Florida, probably going to Disneyland or Disney World or wherever the fuck for the 7th time today.
No, I'm pretty sure after a weekend of Metallica, he going home, he going to crash on his bed.
Oh, yeah, and then he'll go to Disney World tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For about 5 times.
Probably 5 the whole day. Probably 5 times. So it's like, Tom, man, buddy, pal, guy, friend, buddy. Make up your fucking mind. Do you want to go one-on-one with the top fan? Or do you want to be a little bitch? Do you want to make yourself famous? Or do you want to ride on it here like Thomas the little bitch engine that you are? I mean, you rode your ass out of here. So I think I know the decision you made. And I judge you very, very hard for your life choices, sir.
All right. I assume you're done now.
Yeah, that was pretty much all I had.
Okay. Well, we got Chicago Style Wrestling this Friday.
Yeah, we do.
August the 16th.
That's the date.
It is. They present Cruel Summer.
That's the name of the show.
It is. And it's at 9757 Pacific Avenue in Franklin Park, Illinois.
Hey, that's where the show is.
It is. Front row, if there are any left on the link in the Facebook page, they're $30. Otherwise, general admission is $25.
Hey, those are the prices for the tickets.
Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and bell time is 7:30 p.m.
Hey, that's when you can go to the show and watch the matches.
All right. One of the matches announced is a trios match as Warhorse teams up with Shane Boucher and Shaza McKenzie. They take on Conan Lycan, Solomon Tupu, and Maggie Lee. We saw some shit happen at the end of the show last month where Conan Lycan was handcuffed to the post and they threw away the key. The key was never found. We had to get the ropes off the ring just so Conan Lycan can get out. Because no one carries bolt cutters.
True.
I'm pretty sure he went home with handcuffs on his hand until he got bolt cutters. But that's funny.
That's got to be an awkward thing to explain.
Yeah, imagine walking through TSA. How do you explain that?
So, how'd this happen? Well, you know, the things that happen at wrestling. Is that what they're calling it? Yes. They're calling it Chicago Style Wrestling, in fact.
Well, speaking of Chicago Style Wrestling, the Chicago Style Wrestling Women's Championship is on the line as the champion Shelly Benson takes on Missa Kate, the former champion. In a special attraction, but it's also for the Metro Division Championship, we have the champion, Rafael Quintero, taking on Axel Rico and Erez. You know who that is, right?
Somewhat do, yeah.
Cool.
I am familiar with the name.
That should be, I'll say, probably match of the night, just by looking at it. Steve Boz will be taking on the man with crabs, Hans Carden.
This is my shout out to the superstar.
Funny story about what you're doing right now. So at ARW at the after party, his theme song came on, the Touch Tunes.
Yeah.
And I was the only one doing it. And I think it was Old School Manson, who was sitting across from me, knew exactly what I was doing. He caught on. I think everyone else was like, in mid conversation, so they weren't paying attention. But
they're like,
at
if
least,
you know, you know.
yeah.
You know. That should be Smiley McGee's catchphrase. If you know, you know. I'm telling that to him because he's on my side with things. So I'm gonna give that to him because he's on my side.
TJ Steele will be having a State of the Brass address. What that entitles, I do not know. Then we have, speaking of the brass, Jax Johnson will be taking on Marshe Rocket all day.
All day.
In a chairs match, get this, Chris Miller takes on Lily Pascadita.
Ooh.
In a chairs match.
Ooh.
Miller has been messing around, interfering in Lily's matches for months now.
And he does suck.
Yeah. She even got a win over him. Picked his ass up more than once in the last few months. But he's been whacking her with a chair left and right out of nowhere. So they finally said, let's put these two in a chairs match and let them beat the crap out of each other. And I'm hoping Lily takes it to him. I hope that she takes all the chairs she can find and just whack Chris Miller in the face and take his knees out, but it's only a little bit. I may need him in a couple weeks. He knows why. But that's it. Now just take him out, Lily. Forget it. Just get him out. Take him out. Then we have just announced for the tag team titles. Joey Avalon and Sierra, the tag team champions, will be taking on Jay Marsden and Amina Belmont. I believe this was just announced as well. In a 6-pack challenge.
Ooh.
We have Adam Stallion, not that kind of 6-pack. Drew Montgomery, FXB, former Metro Division champion Iniestra, Ryan Matthews, and Cypher. This match is going to be crazy. And I believe that is the official announcements so far for Chicago Style Wrestling this Friday, Cruel Summer, August the 16th at 9757 Pacific Avenue in Franklin Park. Doors open at 6:30, bell time 7:30 p.m. Front row is officially sold out as I read this. So general admission tickets are the only thing available. And that is Chicago Style Wrestling.
And that's that.
It is.
So that's all we had to talk about this week, correct?
I believe so. Is there anything else wrestling related you would like to discuss?
I have nothing pressing in mind. Do you?
You know what? There was something and then I forgot. I don't know why I didn't write it down. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't write things down anymore.
That's right. That's right. Get it? Because, yeah.
There was something. There was definitely something that happened last week that I wanted to touch on, but must have been a lie, as my mom would say.
Raw?
Was it on Raw? Could have been. I don't know. And I feel like it's like in my brain, but it's just not in there. Like it's there, but it's not.
Yeah, we know that about your brain, though.
I am who I am.
That you are.
I'm sure maybe next week I'll think of it.
Sounds like a plan. So you have to plug the things, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Since you did the intro, you can do the outro.
Oh, there's a lot of things that Travis says.
Well,
so
hey,
I'm going to try to remember them.
How long have you been on the show?
That is true. Okay, there's a lot of places you can find the JFW podcast. You can find us on our Facebook page. You can find us on our Instagram. You could find us on our YouTube channel at Just Freakin' Wrestling, where you are able to see a video version of this podcast every single week. We also have Spotify. We also have Podbean. We have, I already said Spotify. We have Apple Podcasts. We don't longer have Google Podcasts because that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, everything's on YouTube Music.
We also have Patreon.
We have a Patreon. I don't remember exactly what's all on it, so check out the Patreon, JFW. I believe you have to look up or Just Freakin' Wrestling, and support us. Give us some money. We like money.
Yeah, money's good. Money makes the world go round. Money makes us happy. Money makes us do things. Money makes me want to make sure that I read the transcript of the last episode to make sure that I'm not missing anything before we sign off. Okay, let's.
Well, while you're doing that, we also have merch on tpublic.com.
That's right.
I just purchased some stuff, and I'm waiting for it to arrive. Should be here in the next day or so. You can get the Nubby Faction Slayer t-shirt. You get the Nubby and Pacman 2024, is it? 24?
Yes. Though that's going to be, we're an awkward ticket right now. I just have to say.
We are.
But I don't know if it's as awkward as other tickets out there, but that's neither here nor there.
But also check out our other podcasts that are part of Freaknet Studios. You got Jedi Talk, you got Fourth Mother Box, this freaking show, who is also co-hosted by Travis T.
The Power Hour, which will have Rion Skill's birthday episode this week.
That's right. It is the birthday celebration of Rion Skills as we appreciate him and celebrate his birthday. I actually will be on this week to give my birthday wishes.
Sounds good. I will also be on that particular podcast, as well as the Lovely Intoxicated podcast, which is also part of Freaknet Studios, and a new podcast episode will be coming this weekend.
Cool.
I don't know what it's going to be about, but, the way things are going, you're definitely not going to want to miss it. I'll tell you that much.
Well,
so we do have that. What else do we have? We have there's a lot of talk on here. Search JFW, find it in Twitter. Also search Just Freakin' Wrestling. Yeah, we hit all the big things. So I guess guys, that's all I got.
I believe we can ring the bell on this episode.
You told me Pacman did because I got to say my thing. Respect the top fan.
I did that on purpose.
Perfect. As always, I am Pacman.
And I am the Faction Slayer, Nubby, the Amazing Turtle, Cowabunga.
And I am the LIM beer drinking champion who runs JFW, Pacman. Hold on, I gotta do the thing. And thank you for listening to another episode of Just Freakin' Wrestling, the JFW Podcast. Oh my god, I always wanted to do that.
You're so fired.